get just who we are.
I guess the topic today, since we can piggyback off last week, no? Bedroom boundaries. Because I was going in on some stuff and we said we was going wait. We're gonna talk about that on the next episode. So now we at the next episode. Bedroom boundaries. This better be a good one.
All right. So I'll begin. Bedroom boundaries. I, in my mind, like regular stuff. I'm regular, right? So
What we call vanilla.
I did not say I'm vanilla. I said I'm regular.
What's
So maybe
regular?
vanilla with some sprinkles. So vanilla with some sprinkles.
But vanilla with a splash of cinnamon.
I'm a sugar cookie. So like it's certain things that I will do when I want to. Of course, everybody has things that they will do, things that they want to. Like number one, I despise routines. Like if it's like step one, kiss her on the neck. Step two, rub her back. Like we going to desert land, right? That's
but who does that?
Don't say who does that, because people do that. People do that.
5, 6,
Trust me.
Like in
7, 8.
steps? But how do you know? How do you know that they're doing it in steps?
Because every time it's how it happens. Every single
It's the same
routine.
routine.
It's the routine, right? So I like spontaneity. You know, like grab me in the hallway. Let's start here. Like it can't always be the same thing. Let's start in the car. Let's, come give me something. So I also feel like for me, if I'm with somebody and they think I'm boring, it's because I think they're boring. Like I'm only it's like reciprocity. So if you set me on fire, then that fire is ignited and it'll spread. But if you just giving me some room temperature water, that's all I can give you. And I know, like, it's not that I'll never say, okay, it's not that I'll never say, okay, let me try to spark the flame. Like, if he boring, he boring. So, like, every time, okay, let's say I do some extra gift day. Yes, it's a yes night. And then it's unless I do it, it don't get done. It's not gonna happen often. It's not. I'm gonna have to be tequilaed up. What's that song? My God. Give me one margarita, yeah. It's gonna have to be a night like that. I don't have nights like that often because I got stuff to do in the morning, so I can't be getting margarita up. So do I have boundaries? Yes, I do. So what is it? What's a no for me? No urine, no feces, no other women, no. Let me see what else is a no. I don't know. I know it's some other no's, but I don't know. I don't really like toys because I like him. And then I think I said before, like I'm very sensitive, so I don't like food, but I will. It's not a no. It's not a hard no. It's a okay if you want to, but I'm not gonna suggest it. I'm not gonna ask for it. So,
will you do it in public?
You said will I or have I? So yes, I have, and yes.
Okay, and when we say public, like how public? Because you can do it in public, but it's still private. But it's in public. But public is like public. Like anybody can just pop up or around people.
Listen, people, you could have just looked out your window.
That was a story.
But I was young. That was a personal story time. That ain't a story time for this platform. But have I public? Yes. Would I public now? I couldn't. It could be private public now. But public now, comes with too many repercussions.
Yeah.
Like I have too much to lose at this point in my life.
So, not the actual act. Would you do anything else public? Like not the actual act, but maybe like
I got a thing. So this has never happened. Let me preface this. But it was like
she always got to put a disclaimer.
like I don't know if you call it a fantasy or what have you, but like, okay, I went to this restaurant and it was like an outdoor restaurant, and you can I can't explain it. The restaurant was inside, but they do have outdoor seating, and you can face the street when you're outside sitting. So there's no seats on the outer side because you'll be hitting people walking on the sidewalk. Yeah. So everybody's facing the streets, but they have long tablecloths. And I always used to think like that would have been so dope. Like if someone was messing with you sitting next to you, but then my OCD about is their hands clean and all this stuff started coming to my mind. So I was like, yeah, this probably ain't gonna work. But
for me, that would be a yes.
Me too.
Go
yeah, on. That would definitely be yes for like me. Do you have any other no's? Like being tied up, being spanked, being blindfolded, being handcuffed, being like all of those things. Anal.
So it's a yes to everything. The last one is not a no. It's just it's nothing that I crave. But I've done it before. So
you have.
I have.
You didn't like it?
It wasn't my favorite. But you know, it's like
maybe because it was new.
That's what I was
because it's a process.
And it's like I didn't get used to it. Like I did it like many years ago, and then years passed, and then I did it again, and then years passed. So it was like that. It's nothing that I've ever done regularly.
Yeah, it's definitely a process before you.
In my mind,
I don't know how I know that.
Yeah, she asked me one time at band camp. But in my mind, and this could be wrong of me, but in my mind, and it's not even a insult to anybody that I've experienced that with, but in my mind today, in order for me to say yes, like he can't be a certain size. Like I can't imagine.
No, yeah. Like I think too much is too much.
Too much.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like too much is too much.
I'm not saying he gotta be micro, but he dang sure can't be gigantic. I can't
Bella?
be anything else. Bella, what's your boundary?
I'm trying to think of like, because before you go, Bella, I'm just trying to think of like all the things that you can do. Like it's so many things.
It is, and it's a great. Would I do role playing? Yep, I would. Would I go out and like pretend I don't know him? Yes, I would. Absolutely.
So I definitely agree with Nika where it depends on the person and also your comfortability, right? Because I'm gonna start with comfortability. At one point, I weighed a lot more than I do now, and I think that hindered me from being comfortable enough to do certain things. Lights off, and it was just a lot. So when I did lose weight, then I was able like, okay, I want to do X, Y, and Z. Like my favorite, but it's only happened once, the baby boy. Everybody get it in your mind. The mama in is it being Reigns or something like that?
That was in Baby Boy, yeah.
And because my whole life I was thinking like I'm too heavy for him to pick me up and do this. So when it happened, I was like, oh my God. Like that was it, So I think though it had nothing to do with the guy on that instance. I wasn't gonna allow somebody to try to pick me up and then they fall and I'm embarrassed. I was in my head. So this then lends to what Nico was saying about the person, Because if that person could put you at ease, it don't matter what your insecurities are, it's gonna dissipate with that person. Also, with that person, it wasn't the same person, but another person could put something in your head that you would have thought, like I had this friend, they were a friend, and we were discussing something, and it was talking about the choking thing. And I'm like, that's crazy. I don't want you to put your hand around my throat and I'm feeling like I'm gonna die. There's nothing sexy about that. Then I was with somebody and it happened. I said, "Whoa!"
I think, well, for me, I know that when a man shows me, not tells me that he desires me, but shows me, it's like in that animalistic way, like he licked my face, like that. The answer is yes, sir. The answer is yes. You say go under the mango tree out there? you just wanted me to wear the clear heels?
I'm dead.
My heels gonna sink into the ground. I don't care. I'll meet you at what time? let's go to war in here. And then it's yes.
And war. You don't want to go to war with
And it don't have to be war every time. Sometimes I'll wave the white flag. Sometimes he can wave the white flag. Sometimes we can have a peace
A
treaty.
truce.
A truce, and we can just work together.
I don't want you to kill me. I'm not that. So I guess that would be considered a.
I ain't ready to die.
Girl don't know what she wants. She wants Joe, but if you want Joe gonna kill you. So like
in the bedroom.
No. Joe not gonna kill you. Joe gonna kill everybody else.
He cut his own finger off.
I love
That's what I'm saying. Like, he ain't gonna kill her though. He gonna just hide her away. Like, and then she ain't gonna be able to go nowhere else. But he ain't gonna kill her though.
When you were going to the questions, anal, that's a no for me. I don't know if it's programmed or not, but I'm just thinking just out. That's it for that. I don't know if it's a program. I just can't get beyond that.
I'm gonna say this.
You can't get beyond what? Wait, you can't get beyond what?
Anal.
The thought that it's supposed to be going out, not in. Things going out, not in anal.
You gonna find the right one. You gonna say, I'll try it, and then we make sure when you try it, you let us know.
But this is why I want to say preface. I don't want to say ain't gonna do something because then it happened. I don't want to say that.
Yes, she is. When she find that Joe, she gonna do it.
She gonna wake up.
Joe gonna convince her.
So the thing with that is, as much as it hurts, if he knows what he's doing, it won't be as painful. And the other thing is, once it's
you thinking constipation, like
it's not.
It ain't.
Mm-mm. But once it's in,
Very
it's like
different.
And even though this has been so long ago, I do remember this. I remember at first it's like be gentle. Okay, go.
Oh.
Yes. Okay. It's like
there's a lubrication to that point, to that side too.
That's what I was saying. Is it the anal leads?
Huh?
I know it used to be one called anal leads. So it kind of
No. There is a natural lubrication that comes with doing that. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, it is. It
is a different sensation to normal. It is different. The feeling is different. It's just different. It's a different kind of feeling.
So for me, that will be a boundary at this, I'm just going to say at this point, juncture in my life. As far as public, there's degrees, right? So
it's always degrees and circles.
Unfortunately, it's been many years since I've had experience outdoorsy or whatever, but it wasn't to the fact that somebody could see, but it's like if they did happen upon us, then they might have saw. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm outside, but maybe it was a car with tents messing around, or like driving or something like that, and something was going on. Or, but yeah, no, we not sitting outside on the beach. I can do that, but like something for my bucket list for my future husband or something. Like if I was, say you're at a hotel with high balcony, it could be from the back or whatever, and y'all know that. But
Close.
I'm
You on
scared
that
that what if you fall over and die? Then I'm like, no. So maybe like sitting down on that they think you should sit on their lap, and then it's not, like something like that.
balcony life is decent.
But
Beach life is decent.
did but people, no,
Club
no,
life is
no. Who?
club
Which like,
life is decent. Club.
I had a situation with a club. It wasn't like that, but it was 2-level club. And so we up on the top, whatever. And we down looking, but it wasn't people up there with us. Because I guess we were in like a area. And so we looking down, we messing around, but it's like nobody's around. But if they would have came upstairs, they might have saw, but we wasn't doing nothing like that. But it was still enough foreplay to be like, okay, it's on later. Like that's
You have so much self-control.
but it's like, but that goes back to what you were saying, a certain person, because everybody couldn't get that. And like the, like I was saying about the throat thing, I would have never thought. And then I was like, oh.
It's funny. You said the throat thing, and that wasn't my thought. I was thinking the gag reflex.
Me too. I was actually thinking to swallow.
Oh! I'm not a swallower either. No.
What you do? Spit it out,
Yeah.
or you stop before it?
I try to stop prior. Yeah. Sorry. I'm not an incubator. Like, no.
Swallow. You gotta do the full. Nika, you a swallow?
It's protein.
As
Okay.
long as I feel like
You gotta like. How you gonna prematurely stop that man? Like you gotta finish off.
I got it to a science. He good. Trust. No other people. Mm-mm. I don't even want nobody else. Yeah. No.
So you wouldn't record?
Not purposely.
She said not purposely.
I ain't gonna say that it never happened. It could have, that I don't know of. I mean, and then like I'm the person, I would never send stuff. Like when people like, oh, send me, oh no, I don't want to do that. I've been sent you a picture of somebody else's stuff. But I don't want to say never on anything else, because
But what is anything else? What are you thinking about anything else that you don't want to say never on?
I'm just like, the first thing I just think the bedroom is undefiled. Okay, we could try it, but these my no other people. I don't want to be recorded. I don't want any anal play. I don't want. I'm really not adventurous as far as public. I think I already said that. But we could try a toy, different positions. Of course, I want. I like to dress up. I think my biggest thing is if you can get in my head, you can get almost anything from me. So that's where I have to draw lines where I don't let people in like that. So
Yeah, but you need to also be with somebody that you trust that won't go
yeah.
beyond your boundaries to try to get you to do something that they know that you
I
don't
don't
want to
need
do.
no holdings in my life.
You know that it all starts with the conversation.
I feel like you gotta earn my new. I'm not gonna give you all everything. You gotta earn that.
I wish I could tell you. It's this TikTok that I meant to send y'all. It's this girl doing poetry, and she's like saying exactly what you said, but opposite. So it's like you could basically, she's saying you could get in my bed before you can get in my head. Cause if that ain't hitting on nothing, we not moving forward. And it's like, oh God, it's like because why would I invest so much of my time in my life with you if it ain't gonna be nothing? And
I'm
having sex with
opposite.
you is just satisfying my craving right now, and then maybe we can move on. But if I'm going to spend
I'm
months and
opposite.
years with you and I don't like you, like, I'm spending all this time to get to know you and I don't like you and I haven't gotten anything out of it. So
I'm opposite because I don't want to give you all that if you're not my man like that. You know
right.
what I'm
And she was
saying?
saying like how y'all be like soul ties. She's like, back to what Paige said, every connection ain't connected to your soul.
And see, that's the thing. I'm like, I don't want to do it if we're not going to establish something like that because I need to trust you. And so if I don't trust you to do all of that,
How long does it take you to trust somebody? Like how
it
long
varies.
between the time that you give it up and the time that you trust them? How long did you? Because I'm at a point where I'm not just giving it up like that.
I think it varies on the person. I'll say a friendship with someone, but it bordered on that flirtatious line for many years. And then when we finally got together, I think it was amazing because we did build that connection prior. So
For
that's why I feel,
years.
but yeah, it was years, but it was, let's
Yeah,
say,
it ain't years, but
the reason why is because it was years, we didn't live in the same place. So it probably would have happened beforehand. I'm not saying just sex, but I'm just saying like giving it all, like pulling out all the stops.
I just feel like if I'm going to be sexual with somebody, I'm pulling out all the stops. Like, why am I? Because if I'm holding myself, then I'm not experiencing the best sexual whatever for myself. Like, I'm not
And
experiencing what I need to experience because I'm holding out. And I'm not saying that I've done this with everybody because I had to learn this over time. But when you go into a sexual experience, you're not supposed to hold back because when you hold back, you don't get the full
you
sexual
don't
experience.
you don't enjoy it as much.
Personally, yeah,
Right. Right.
yeah.
And also the other thing is it's like saying going into a relationship. I'm not gonna give this my all because this might not be my husband. But it might be. You don't know until you know. So
Okay. But that's just like, okay, do you give your person you're dating husband treatment off the rip?
What is husband treatment? What is husband treatment?
Okay, so I'm not fin to do your laundry. I'm not finna clean your house. I'm not finna cook
You,
your food. I'm not finna make sure you go to work
I'll cook,
every day and
it,
all that stuff.
but I'm not gonna cook every day if we married. I'm not gonna do your laundry all the time if we married. So those are things that I like. I'm not gonna do that.
I am maybe because I was a stay-at-home wife. Nope, I'm lying because I was doing that even when I was working. I am
were you
that
happy?
traditional, huh?
Were you happy doing that?
At one point in time, yeah. At one
I
point in
If
can't.
time,
we're dating, I'm gonna cook for you. I will. I will cook for you.
I'll
We
do
could cook.
certain
Doing
things.
your laundry, I don't know. I don't even like to do my own laundry, but you know.
I'm doing certain things little here and there, but not doing everything because I'm not your wife. When I'm your wife, I'll do
But
everything.
Bella, but Bella, I'm not gonna say that because I'm not gonna do everything. Because just because we're married don't mean I get extra hours in a day. So, and that's just gonna be me exhausted and me unhappy, and him watching TV and playing the video game, and that's not fair to me.
Yeah, I'm
So,
not doing all of that extra
I'm gonna
either.
clean your house. Will I cook? If I cook at my house, I could cook enough for you. If I'm at your house and I want to cook, I will cook. But even in the marriage, it's gonna be the same way, except for we'll be living in the same place. Am I
Yeah,
gonna
it's not
clean?
a requirement. Or I
Right.
don't feel like I'm obligated.
Am I gonna clean your house? I don't live there. I'm not cleaning your house. I might, I'll wash dishes.
Yeah.
Maybe after a load in the laundry, I might even fold it, but it's not my job. So be
And that's the
appreciative.
same thing I feel about those acts.
That's
I'm
how I
not,
feel in marriage too.
I may give you this.
But being sexual is not an act.
No, because
It's
no,
not a.
certain acts you're not getting pleasure out of. That's for him.
Like what?
But you shouldn't go in. But you shouldn't go into a sexual experience just to please him.
But what act in sex
Sometimes
that
you're
you're
not in the
getting
mood.
pleasure from?
Sometimes you're not in the mood for that, but you're going to do it to make sure your man is good.
It's not the same though.
What you mean?
Even they don't feel it when you do a sexual activity with your partner and you don't feel like it. They feel that.
I'm not saying be begrudging about it, but
No, but even if you forcing yourself to be sexually aroused or whatever, they can tell. Just like you can tell when your partner is just doing something because it pleases you, they can tell when you're doing something because it only pleases them and you're not willing to do it. Like you don't want
they
to
care
do it.
about that.
Y'all don't give men the benefit of they care. Whether they speak on it, whether it's emotionally attached to how they feel on a day-to-day basis, it's something different. But do they pay attention? Absolutely.
My thing is, that's your man, that's your husband. You're not going to send him in the world full. You better send him out empty so that he's straight and not looking around, whatever, whatever. So
Yeah, but you even if he full, you can't stop him from looking around.
We know that don't matter.
If he gonna look, he gonna look. It don't matter how you sacrifice yourself and sacrifice everything and do all these chores at home and do all of that. If he gonna cheat, he gonna cheat. So you might as well do what makes you happy. And then if he happy, he happy. Like if he ain't, then find somebody else.
I know that withholding is not a punishment for anybody but you.
If I'm having a horrible day, because we don't always feel like we want to have sex. Just like your partner don't always feel like they want to have sex. You have a lot going on in your regular life. That's where communication comes in. And sometimes it's not really about sex because you can have intimacy without having sex. And right now, I really don't need that. Like, I'm just not in the mood for that. But let's sit here together. Let's cuddle. Let's take a bath. Let's take a whatever it is that we need to feel intimacy. Let's do that. I just don't feel like communication. You don't have to always just, and you'll be surprised how understanding your partner will be as long as you communicate how you feel and instead of forcing yourself to do something that you really don't feel like doing, but you're doing it just because you feel like that's what they want.
If your communication is always on the negative, nope, because I don't feel like, because they're not going to keep understanding. They're not. But if it's always no, because I don't feel like it, because it's something else that y'all need to be communicating about.
That's what I'm saying about communication, because you can't always not want to do it. But if you're communicating your feelings freely and what you're going through and then they have an understanding. Yeah, you're not always going to be like, nah, I don't want to do it. I don't want to, because then at that point it's something else more than just, I had a bad day going on.
I was just saying, I definitely agree with you, what you were saying about the communication, but we have to be honest that all of us were not raised to be communicators. You know, like myself, an example, shut up, shut up, shut up. I talk too much, so I got to the point I shut down. That's not right, but my whole life I went that way. So I'm just learning to be open. You know what I'm saying? So what, am I not supposed to date until I got everything together? That's not fair.
But I think that you're supposed to, when you're dating, not like straight out, like we going on one date, but the person that you decide, like, I think we're going to do something, we're going to move forward. I think that you should communicate that part to them. I didn't grow up communicating. So a lot of things I hold inside, and it takes time for me to, that's the part of communicating. I'm not saying that because I wasn't raised to be a great communicator. Now I do way more talking than I did before because I shut down and I didn't say anything because I felt like it really didn't matter if I said anything or if I didn't. You know what I mean? So I just didn't say nothing at all. But now I'm a way better communicator than I ever was before. And I feel like in relationships, that is very important. You say how you feel, and either they take it or they don't.
Yeah.
Like that is how you know when the person is right for you, because when you really get in the nitty gritty of life, you need to know that this person is gonna be by your side no matter what. Because in the beginning it's great. Right. Everything is bliss. everything is great and we going out and we having fun and we doing this and it's great, it's new. But then the reality set in and life start coming at you. And you need to know that this person is going to be, and the only way to know that is if you communicate.
Now, for the most important part of this whole segment, what's your boundaries page? Right.
So I have normal boundary. I'm not going to say normal.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to say normal. I have boundaries that probably most people have, because these boundaries are probably like the small few people. Like Nika said, pee and poop and like those children and like, all of those weird kind of like.
But we have to put that in there in writing at this point because
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like animals and like all of those things that are just like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Like those kind of blood and like those type of things that people are actually into. And if you into that, it is what it is. That's just not a part of what no, right. I'm not doing that. I have very few bedroom boundaries. I will do public. And I think I'm a little beyond Nika's private public, because if we're at a restaurant and like I'm good, I ain't saying I'ma just saddle up and the waiter coming, not like that. But if we want to do like other things under the cloth like that, like I'm open to exploring and being uncomfortable in certain situations where you doing what you have to do and I have to like place my order with the waitress while you doing what, like I'm
that thing that
type of uncomfortability.
That thing that Bella said early, like second episode, remember, with the remote control of the app.
I'm into that. If we are in the elevator and other people are in the elevator and we in the back of the elevator and I'm into that.
Yeah.
Like I'm so I guess that would still be considered public private, but not so private because it's still people kind of around. I think that's the thrill of like it. Yeah, I'm not like, I love sex. It may not seem like it, but I'm paying attention to your facial expressions. Right now, I can see in my mind every person that I've been intimate with, the facial expression that they've made that turned me on. I can visualize it. I can see it. I know the way you turned your lip up. I know the way your eyes looked when you see me in that bra. Mm-hmm. I know that. So I'm paying attention to all of that. So I need those looks in order for me to be like, because I'm looking. I'm paying attention to that. That's what's like getting me. I'm paying attention to what you say.
Those are the things that you get to think back on tomorrow, next week. And it's like,
heck yeah. Yeah.
That
butterfly, like,
whew. Yeah.
And the thing is, what I think guys don't really realize is that when you think back like that, it's not really like the actual, like it leads up to the actual event, but like all of those things like before the actual event, like the text message you received and how they responded to that, and when they walked in, how they looked, all of those little small details that guys don't realize that we pay attention to matters, and it leads up to,
I'm gonna tell you
how arousing
everything started in my head.
What his different is that not sober night. Oh my God. When y'all both had some shots.
I don't think I ever had drunk sex.
All I could do is rock.